Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I think the towels are gonna irritate me. Let me take it away because I need to give you more a professional background. I think that's a bit better, is it? A little bit. But anyways, welcome back to my channel. Now my fan is in. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm gonna start the video. So I took screenshots of questions people had on 2 videos back. I went like through, is it focusing because I don't have my glasses on? I hope so. Yeah, I just screenshotted a lot of the questions people had, which I couldn't like answer quickly, that I thought I would just make like a longer video on or speak more about. So this video is basically just going to be about everything after you finish your studies for chartered accountancy. So your university studies are done, so that's basically your 4 years or however long it may take you. After that, what was my experience like during articles, moving to Sandton? There's a girl that wants to know a little bit more around the article things. Her name is Rumeza. I might butcher that name, so sorry about that. But yeah, she wants to know more about like how my articles experience was, my life work balance, how I could afford living and everything like during articles. And then another girl wants to know, Ayanda, she wants to know more like once I did my articles, like what did I do, what was the decisions I took to get to the Netherlands, was it always an option for me, and all of that. So I'm gonna first start with my articles, and I don't know why, but I feel that I'm actually busy packing for Portugal. So my room is, it's not a mess, but I'm packing for Portugal because I'm going on a surf retreat, which I'm super excited for. I'm leaving tomorrow morning actually at 3, and I just finished my month in today, so it's been a tough week for other reasons as well. But anyways, I'm not gonna get into that. Okay, let me start. So articles. So I obviously did my articles at a Big 4 company in South Africa. So I studied in Potchefstroom, and then I touched on this previously. I had a friend that did her interview, or she had her contract with the same company that I ended up with, and I was like, oh well, let me give them a try and go to their interviews. Yeah, I think she gave me like the details of when they have their opening days of having interviews. I contacted the woman she gave me the contact details of. I think you can get it like on the Big 4 companies' websites. And then I went for an interview. So then I obviously got the job. So when I finished studying, end of December or beginning of January, I moved, it was January, I moved to Johannesburg. So first things first, so obviously articles are 3 years. So for me, I never lived by myself. My first year I lived with my uncle and aunt, which was very helpful because you earn literally next to nothing. Like you earn in the bracket of 9 and 11,000, I almost said euros, rands net, so after tax. And that was when I did my articles, and that was back in 2017. If I do it quickly, the math, 17, 18, yes, 2016, sorry, 2016. So 2016 I did my first year of articles, and then I basically lived with my uncle and aunt. That helped a lot because I didn't pay rent, I just paid for my food and living cost. And that was in midstream, so that's like in between Pretoria and Johannesburg. So I used to travel in with my car in the traffic every day. I didn't use the Gautrain that much because I had to like drive back to Centurion, which was the opposite of Sandton. So it was just easier going to Sandton, and I would usually drive like, I cannot even remember the time, but I would usually get to my clients like I will be there 6:15. So I think I left like 5:45, 20 to 6 in the mornings because I hate traffic. I'm a very anxious person, so I would rather just be there early. Some of my clients also allowed, like the managers allowed me to work from 7 till 4 just because I was there that early. Usually they like it when the team like gets there together and leave together. It just looks better. But at some of my clients, like the managers, actually most of them were fine. with me working 7 till 4 if it was like normal working hours. So yes, that's where I lived for my first year. My second and third year I actually lived with my younger sister. She studied at Tikkies in Pretoria, and we shared an apartment there, which obviously also helped me a lot with money. And then I used the Gautrain train because we were literally like around the corner of the Gautrain train. I would walk there in the mornings or just take my car and my sister would drop me. And then yeah, I'd basically, yeah, for every client, like my clients were just in Sandton, so I will get off at the Sandton stop and just walk to my clients. It was mostly bank and investment companies, so they were all located there. So yeah, just basically how my life was. Like back when I did my articles, I didn't have a lot of friends because when I left university, like obviously everyone goes like their own way all over South Africa, and then yeah, I only had like 2 very good friends. And also then like I had my sister and I was very comfortable only having my sister as a friend. So back then my daily routine would literally be get up the morning early, take the train, because for 2 years I lived with her, so I'm talking more about that time. I would take the train into Sandton, work my days, and obviously you have your seasons where you work very hard, other times where it's not that hard working, which is normal hours, your 8 hours. And then I would get back home. Usually I get home between 6 and 8, depending on just what happens at work. And then I will get home, I will cook for me and my sister, like I always used to cook for us because she studied and was busy with that in the evenings. So I will make us food and I will literally go to bed and watch series and sleep, because then the next morning be up early. So that's what I would literally do the whole week. Sometimes I will go for a run, but I wasn't that active like working out. And then weekends I will also just be in front of the TV, relax. Like I think I studied so hard for 4 years that for my 3 years of articles I couldn't bear the thought of doing anything else and just wanted to be in front of the TV watching series and not think about anything, especially if you also come back from a work day in articles. So how I afford everything was obviously my first year I lived with my uncle and aunt. That helped a lot. My second and third year I paid everything. That's when I started, and my dad also helped me with my cell phone contract. He paid that up for my first year. So I wasn't very dependent my first year. From my second year I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay everything myself. So I paid half the rent. I think back then also our rent in Pretoria, it wasn't that bad. So yeah, I didn't live in Sandton because I think this girl also thought I lived in Sandton. I didn't, but I also have friends that did live there. But the thing is, I'm not sure how they afford it because that salary is so small. So I think they share with people. So obviously if you share, if you get an apartment of 10,000 rand, 2-bedroom apartment, then you can share it and pay 5k each, you know. So I think sharing is like the option that you would need to go. But yes, and then obviously I didn't have much of a life, so I didn't like go do a lot of things. So I didn't need money to like go out and party and go on holidays or things like that. Like December when we went on holiday, my parents would still like pay for the holiday and I would just like have my own pocket money, like buy my own things that I wanted, and here and there like contribute where I could. But I was still seen as studying because I wasn't qualified yet. I was working, getting my salary to just get out, like break even, but I wasn't seen from my parents' side like, oh, she's now an independent woman, you know. That only happened when I moved to the Netherlands. So that's basically my articles. So articles for me, if I look back, was literally just, my goal was just to qualify for chartered accountancy, like do my 2 board exams, go to work, learn as much as I could, get back home and relax. And like just that 4 years took it out of me of studying. So that 3 years I just like, I don't know, I was basically just nowhere socially, just did my work and then at home just relaxed. That was my articles. Then during articles I always knew that I wanted to go obviously overseas because my parents lived in Germany for 3 years when I studied. So I always knew, like, you know, I don't know if you know the chartered accountancy career, you know, most people go like for JIT or something overseas. So I always just knew I would go overseas. I mean, I loved overseas when I was back in South Africa. And then I loved the European lifestyle, and I was like, I want to go to the UK. I don't know why. I think it's mostly because I watch a lot of UK YouTubers, and just like the surroundings and the life they live there just looks so glamorous and so nice. And just also, and not the glamorous part, was more also like just like the businessy type, like finance and this businesswoman, and like, and I really like saw that side for me. Like, I want to be that businesswoman climbing the corporate ladder and this and this and that. And then I had, actually with EY, I had a interview. It was with Gap Placements on LinkedIn. And they, yeah, so when I had that, and then I had a friend, he was actually like my senior on in the previous year on one of my clients, and he moved to Amsterdam, and he said, well, they are recruiting still for people from South Africa. Like, he was like trying to like convince me to come, and I was like, okay, I can just give it a shot. So every time what happened is and it was with the same company I was currently doing my articles at, which was obviously a bonus. I knew the systems, I knew like just the company, and if there were to be a transfer, it would be so easy. So it was so nice, because when I would do my interview, just before I would do my EY interview, I would do the interview for Amsterdam. So I would like be chill in the Amsterdam interview, like getting my experience, practicing what I can say in my interviews, and then I would go to my EY one. So that was nice, and I'm glad for the EY one, because it made me so relaxed and comfortable for the Amsterdam one, because I didn't take it that serious, because the EY one was the one I wanted to have. And then I ended up getting an offer, but only for like in general audit, and I was in financial, like I like the financial world, not like the what do you call it, like like the consumer industry and like the mining industry, technology. I don't like that. I like finance. I like loans, derivatives, investments, cash, and I don't know, all those things. So I said no, and then I got the offer from the Amsterdam, and I was like, you know, maybe it's a sign. And I just, in that moment, I knew like, wow, okay, I think that is maybe the place I want to be at, because deep inside of me, I hate traffic. I hate a lot of people around me, and I'm such a chill, I wouldn't say I'm a hippie, I'm not a hippie at all, but I'm such a like, I don't know, like everyone, do whatever you want. I love everyone for who they are, and just like easy go lucky into certain circumstances. And it ended up just being the perfect match for me. So yeah, that's how I decided. It basically just happened, and I made the decision to come, and that happened in May of my third year of articles. So I was secure of a job when I finished my articles and when I'm qualified as a chartered accountant, and then all the work started, where basically my company this side organized everything. A lot of people always ask me also on that. Like, the only thing I did was basically making sure I had a passport, which I had, and then I had to like, they would fill in everything for me. There's certain things that I might have like had to fill in, but they would send me the paperwork, and then I had my pack, which they basically helped me with preparing. And then I went into the embassy, applied for my visa, and then just collected it. And then when I got here, I had to like organize for myself everything here, so like living wise. So I booked an Airbnb, and then I booked it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then within a week I found my apartment, so I cancelled that. And then our company like helped us a lot, like the steps you need to follow, like what you need to have. So they said like, you need a bank account. So obviously I went to a bank to open a bank account. You need like your BSN, which is like a citizen, or not citizen, a residence number. Like everyone in the Netherlands will have that. So, you know, I applied for that, and they made the appointment for that for me. And then the other one was insurance. Like the moment you put you step your foot onto the Netherlands soil, and you're here for more than 3 months, I think, something like that, you need to have insurance here in the Netherlands. So I immediately had to make sure I have insurance, and which my company also like send out things and how to apply and everything. So I did that because it was also cheaper. Like when you're with the company, you get like a slight discount. So yeah, so they basically like would say like, this is what you need to do, here's all the like steps, but you do it yourself. And yeah, and then I got a relocation amount end of February to compensate for like my living costs and just getting myself this side. So yes, that's basically the process. So I hope that gives you like an idea of like articles, what that was like for me. Literally just, I would say that was not the funnest 3 years of my life. I don't know, it was just very stressful, very like tough environment. Your first time working with people, and you work with like the CFOs of big companies, and yeah, I just took it, and I said it to previous people also that would work underneath me, that are also a bit like anxious and like worrying, like addressing the client and things. I was just like, just do it. Like, this is not going to be your work forever. You probably, like, after your articles, either leave the company or like move overseas or join another company, or maybe you would stay there. And even if you stay there, like, just get the job done. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. Get your 2 board exams, pass them, and don't be too worried. Like, put in the effort for making the relationships with the client. That helped me a lot, like being friendly to them and having that connection. Like, when you need something, they know it's Christelle asking. I'm not just here being a, you know, a policeman. So I really worked on my relationship with the people, and then just like got the job done. Didn't try to stress. Like, the job I am in now, I obviously take so much more serious because it's my career now. Like, I know this is what I want for the next 10 to 20 years. Like, I love the company that I work with, so I have a different mindset. But back then was different. But yeah, that's the route I also took after articles, and I couldn't be happier with that. Like, I feel so blessed that with that it literally like fell into place how it should, without me like forcing to go to one place. And the same with my current career that I'm in, or work that I have. Like, everything, I'm really thankful for how that happened. But yes, if there's any other questions that you want to know based on what I just said, maybe more info, I'm trying to think what else I could say. The only thing is, like, with salary, when you're doing your articles, obviously your first and second year you don't differ that much. Like, second year you maybe like increase between 2,000-3,000 rands, but then in your third year, when you pass your second board exam, that's, I think you get like an increase of like 5k, so you end up more towards like 20. I cannot remember if I earned more than 20,000 rand. I think I might have, I cannot remember, but then that was, no, then that would have been like a very high increase. I think just below, maybe, I'm not sure. Anyways, that's my cue to go, and my battery is flashing. So if you have any other questions, comment it down below, and then thank you for watching, and then I will see you next week with a new video. Bye bye.